December the 16th, 2019. May the strength of God pilot us. May the wisdom of God instruct us. May the hand of God protect us. May the word of God direct us. Be always ours this day and forevermore. We'll stand for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Madam Clerk, will you take the roll?
Supervisor Meegan,
Present.
Councilman Hart,
Present.
Councilman Hamlin.
Present.
This meeting will be dedicated in memory of Sandra Dina. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from December the 2nd, 2019 work session.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Approval of the minutes from December 2nd, 2019 executive session.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Approval of the town board minutes of December 2nd, 2019.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
One quick question.
Sure.
We'll have to approve the work session minutes. Did you say work session?
Okay, moving on to held over public hearings. For a public hearing to hear all persons interested in the adoption of a local law number 5 for the year 2019, amendment to Chapter 13, Code of Ethics in the town of West Seneca. Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Make a motion to approve the adoption of the local law number 5 for the year 2019, amendment to Chapter 13, Code of Ethics.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 2, a public hearing considering a request for a special permit for property located at 299 Lydecker Road, being part of lot number 396, changing its classification from R60A to R60AS for 74 attached residential units in the town of West Seneca. Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Make a motion to approve the seeker resolution, whereas the town board of the town of West Seneca as a lead agency acting pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Act, Article 8 of New York State Environmental Conservation Law, as reviewed Part 1 of the environmental assessment form prepared by the applicant for property located at 299 Lydecker Road for construction of 74-unit multifamily projects, including but not limited to the proposed 1-story and 2-story buildings, parking space, landscaping, stormwater management system, complied with stringent stormwater quality and quality standards, lighting, landscaping, utility lines connections, review of the draft Part 2, short EFA, analyzing potential for a project to the result of significant adverse environmental impacts, otherwise take a hard look at and identify potential environmental impacts utilizing criteria specified in 6 NYCRR 617.7, and whereas upon review of parts 1 and 2 of the EAF and extensive documentation, including numerous reports and studies and project plans submitted by the applicant in connection with the review of the project, the town board has not identified any potential significant adverse environmental impacts associated with the proposed use of subject property, and has determined that the preparation of the environmental impact statement is not necessary, and the issuance of a negative declaration is therefore appropriate. Therefore be it resolved that pursuant to 6 NYCRR 617, the town board does hereby adopt the negative declaration with respect to the project based on its determination that the project will not result in any potentially significant adverse environmental impact.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. The resolution for 299 Lydecker Road, whereas Dado Development has the application for a special use permit for multifamily dwellings on property located at 299 Lydecker Road and is zoned R60 pursuant to the Town of West zoning map. And whereas the requested special use permit was reviewed by the planning board during its meeting held February 14th, 2019, May 9th of 2019, September 12th of 2019, October 10th, 2019. Whereas during its meeting of October 10th, the planning board recommended approval, requested special permits subject to the condition that the easterly portion of the property at 299 Lydecker shall remain undeveloped and subject to a declaration of restrictions to be recorded in the Erie County's office, copied to the town clerk, town attorney, code enforcement. Now therefore be it resolved, West Seneca Town Board hereby finds that the proposed 74-unit multiple dwelling project satisfies the criteria in the issuance of a special use permit set forth in section 120-23A in the town of West Seneca zoning code, and grant special use permit for proposed 74-unit multiple dwelling project at 299 Lydecker Road, subject to the following condition: the easterly portion of the property at 299 Lydecker Road shall remain undeveloped and subject to a declaration of restrictions and to be recorded in the Erie County Clerk's office and copied to the town clerk, town attorney, and to town code enforcement.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 3 is a public hearing to consider a request for rezoning of a special permit for the property located at 537 Potter Road, being part of lot number 276, changing its classification from C1 to C2S to upgrade the facility to a new island canopy and installation of underground storage tanks in the town of West Seneca. Make a motion, open the public hearing.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Is the applicant present? Okay, the applicant is not present. I'm gonna ask the town attorney, he is not present, but he was denied by the planning board, and I would like to say that this board has issues with this particular project, the residential neighborhood, increased in traffic, school zone, public safety, tanker trucks, inability to have a turnaround, and they also will put a hardship on themselves, putting themselves with the variances that they need to their own benefit. Are we at this time allowed to deny the project, Tina?
Yes.
Okay, then I will make a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I'll make a motion to reject the project.
Thank you, Mr. Hart, Councilman Hart. Project is now denied based on this criteria that they do not meet. Residential neighborhood, increase in traffic, school zone, public safety, tanker trucks, inability to make a turnaround, and the own hardship that they would be putting on themselves with the variances that were needed for their own benefit. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Moving on to item number 1, retirement of Matthew English. Kindly accept the retirement of Matthew English from his position as highway and dog control officer in accordance with the provisions of the blue collar contract effective December 31st, 2019, authorizing the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms with Erie County personnel.
Second.
On the question, dear Honorable Town Board, please accept my retirement as of December 31st from the town of West Seneca. It has been an honor to work for the town for the past 36 years, and I would especially like to thank the present and retired members of the Town Highway Department, Buildings and Grounds, Animal Control, Sewer Department, Electrical Department for the past 10 years when I served as Highway Superintendent. I'd also like to thank the present Town Board, Sheila Megan, Bill Hanley, Jean Hart, for all their support and all the Town Board members that I have served under. I also need to thank department heads I work with, especially Chief Daniel Dents, Lauren Massett, Jackie Felser, Ron File, Tina Hawthorne, along with members of the White Collar Union and the Police Department for always being there when I needed. In closing, I give a special thanks to Dina Wexelman and Julie McCormick, Annie Rappold for all their hard work and putting up with me these last 10 years. The friends I have made and the people I have met, I've had a great 36 years. God bless. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
We do have our supervisor-elect here.
You do?
Yeah, there is a couple of things I'd like to say,
And
please.
I'm surprised he's not sitting up there with you.
First of all, I'd like to thank the residents for electing me for three elections.
Here we go.
My wife Nora, who's always been by my side. All the guys in the blue collar that work for me. And I'm gonna end this by just, I want to introduce the new sheriff in town, Bryan Adams.
Thank you, Matthew. Okay, I'd like to resignation of Robert Niederprom from the Planning Board Chairman. Kindly accept the resignation of Robert Niederprom as Planning Board Chairman effective December 16, 2019, authorizing the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms with Erie County personnel.
Second.
On the question?
Is Bob Niederprom, are you here tonight?
Yeah, he's over there.
Bob, could you come forward, please?
The town of West Seneca would like to offer you a closing prayer and a pin and wish you the best endeavors in your future plans. You are an incredible asset, and we thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man has spent 24 years as the chairman of the planning board. Before him was his father, I believe, for at least 20 years. And his professionalism and his service to the town has been excellent. The way he's handled those meetings, the way he's handled many of the complicated issues we've faced is beyond compared to any other potential chairman. I feel bad for the gentleman who will, or young lady who will succeed in as chairman, but I understand he's going to be coming back to West Seneca in the summer. Maybe we could find something for him to do. But I also know that he's going to be spending most of the winter in Florida on the golf course.
Thank you again, Bob. You're a good man. Moving on to the appointment of a marriage officer pursuant to domestic relations section 11C. Kindly appoint Amy Kobler as marriage officer.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Amy enjoyed that position. Item, the resolution opposing the criminal justice reform. This resolution should be read by every single person in the state of New York. It's very concerning. I hope both news agencies brings it to the attention of the public any way you can. This resolution that every town in the county of Erie is putting forth is a very important one. Just to give you an idea of what they're allowing, some of these crimes include assault with 3rd degree, aggravated vehicular assault, crimes of physical abuse against people, crimes include burglary of a residence, resulting in immediate release of these individuals back into the neighborhoods that they're suspected of targeting. It should be noted that these individuals will also have the opportunity as defendants to gain access to the crime scenes that they took victims' residence, to thereby give the defendants accused of burglaries, assaults, rape, and other crimes committed in the victim's home the right to return to those same homes. This is a very disturbing piece of legislation passed, but we have Senator Jacobs, who has put forth a resolution to have an immediate response by everyone in the Senate to come back and review the circumstances that they're putting forth to all those individuals that would be in harm's way, and that is every one of us. So let it be resolved that the town of West Seneca, along with the Association of Governments, hereby supports this legislation introduced by Senator Jacobs and implores the state of New York to immediately amend it.
Second.
All in favor?
On the question real
Oh,
quick.
yes. This is the amendment.
Yes, I
Pretty
would
long.
like to, I know Chief Dens, there's been an immediate impact on the operations of the police department. Would you care to let the public know what those impacts are gonna be?
Well, the impact of bail reform and the discovery issues that have come across have already resulted in a cost factor increasing in the police department of an additional person that we needed to hire to do just the video work and audio work that is needed per these laws. The bail reform, as the supervisor spoke about, for certain laws right now, there is no bail in New York State. There will be no more bail. If somebody breaks into your house and violates you in your house and then goes in front of a judge, the judge will be mandated to release that person immediately. They will not go to jail. In addition to that, they have the right to petition a court and within 15 days come back with their attorney and go back into your house and take photographs of your residence because it is considered a crime scene, and they now have the legal right to do that. That's just one small impact of this overarching reform, is what they call it. We, at the state chiefs level, I'm one of the vice presidents on the state chiefs board. I was just in Albany Thursday and Friday. We did a region-wide, actually statewide press conference about 2 weeks ago, trying to warn the public that this is coming. And we were asking to have it just shelved until they can get back and try to reduce some of the things that are in there. It's not all completely 100% bad. There are some portions of it that are good, but the portions that are not good are really scary. So we sounded the alarm. The governments, the local governments have sounded the alarm back to the state officials. We are looking for a moratorium, so the practitioners, we can sit down at the table with the legislature and figure out a better way to do this. The cost at the countywide level is going to be enormous. The district attorney's office has already had to hire 20 additional people at taxpayers' expense to try to wade through these things. There are numerous unintended consequences we can see coming down the railroad tracks. So appreciate the local town governments for standing by us. We have a new set of rules that we have to deal with the police departments, and hopefully we can find some middle ground to stand on here. The pendulum has completely swung, and to tell you the truth, as practitioners, we never saw it coming this far. So it was not standalone legislation. It was talked in the budget, as most controversial laws are now getting put in the budget or under executive order. So these laws were not passed as a bill and then debated upon, and then the committee, and then the proper ways that a bill becomes a law and then signed in. It was voted on at 3 o'clock in the morning as part of the overall budget package, and with no direction. So that's the short version. I would read what the supervisor put forth, educate yourself. We are not being alarmist, we are being practical, we can see what's coming, and we are going to do the best to keep the lid on this, so, and keep everybody safe. But we are handicapped in many ways right now, to protect you as a society, so. January 1st, people who are in jail, who are waiting on bail, will be immediately released. So hundreds of people will be, January 1st, have a Happy New Year gift, and they will all be turned out onto the street. So I see my friend Maureen in the back nodding her head, who's the lead court clerk here, and she knows what we're about to face. We're doing it together. The DA's office, the courts, and the police, we're all in this together, so hang on and we'll see what comes. We're gonna try to fight it the best we can, and at least get a moratorium put on it so we can get to a better place.
I also understand that the documentation and paperwork requirements are huge, and that's one of the reasons we need to add additional staff. I also believe it does impact the paperwork load in the courts. Hopefully we won't need additional staff there, but maybe we will, based on the nodding I'm seeing. So I hope that let your legislatures know that this is not, as it is not a good law, needs to be dramatically changed or rescinded.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you, Chief Dens.
Another unfunded mandate.
Exactly. Oh, and it's massive to a budget. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Land Bank resolution, accepting this resolution regards to New York State Land Bank. We're requesting Balnick to acquire the property at 55 Dirksen Avenue, West Seneca, New York.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Sure.
Retirement of Sheila Megan. Kindly accept the retirement of Sheila Megan from her position of town supervisor in accordance with the provisions of the white collar contract effective December 31st, 2019, and authorize Megan Winneck to oversee the filings of the necessary forms with Erie County personnel.
Second.
On question? All approved?
Aye.
Thank you.
This is from myself, Councilman Hart. Please approve the Buffalo Fenians GAA application to allow the GAA Continental Youth Championships to be held at the West Seneca Soccer Complex from approximately July 25th through July 31, 2022. Approval of the use of the soccer complex for the championship is contingent on the successful completion of a satisfactory rental agreement between the Buffalo Fenians and the town of West Seneca. The providing of adequate insurance as determined by the town, the filing of a security plan with the chief of police, and the implementation of the remainder are yet to be determined responsibilities outlined in the proposal to be provided to the town as soon as possible. Please see the attached letter from the Buffalo Fenians regarding the general outline of their proposal. I know that, second?
Second.
Okay, on the question, Paul Mulcari from the Fenians are here. Are there any comments you want to add before we vote on this, Paul?
Just that, the last time we held it here in 2017, it went down as the largest and most successful tournament ever held outside of Ireland. And I think we put West Seneca on the map for everything that happened here, at the complex, because it is a world stage that the competition is held on. Excuse me. And it is now getting bigger. West Seneca is actually the only complex in all of the cities we go to, from Chicago, Boston, San Francisco, they can actually hold it, because we need 15 fields going on. We had the largest last year in Philadelphia, and there's only 9 9 fields, and they just couldn't handle the amount of games that's being played. And all the comments that we've received since, every time I go somewhere, I'm now the chairperson of this competition, which is a national competition. Every time we go somewhere, everybody says, we gotta go back to the Seneca, we wanna go back to the Seneca. And that's a lot to do with the town board, the workers in the town. Matt, now that you're retired, we're gonna be volunteers. So again, I wanna thank the Seneca for the last time, because it definitely put our club on the map, for being with the Seneca. And we love to host the day. So that's all I have, Gene, thank you.
And the new town board is gonna find out how great you guys are to work with. And there were contracts that covered the cost of the last event, 2017. Just a little bit of economic impact. 3.8 million was brought in during the last event. Approximately 20,000 people attended the event. It's an international event, and it was very well run, very professional. And I can say that the Buffalo Finians, when they left our park, it was in better shape than when they moved in. And I want to thank you, and I wish you luck in the future. And I'm sure the next town board will be more than willing to sit down with you and come up with that agreement that you're going to need to operate. Thank you.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Councilman. And I know the Finians have another appointment to go to, so off you go, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you.
God bless. Okay, next item is Memorandum of Agreement with CSDA, Town of West Seneca White Collar Unit. Kindly see the attached resolution providing legislative approval for the attached Memorandum of Agreement between the Town of West Seneca and CSDA, Town of West Seneca White Collar Unit, adopting the parental leave policy for the White Collar Unit. In a resolution adopted in the Memorandum of Agreement, we also consider part of the Town CSDA Collective Bargaining Agreement, Appendix O of the contract, and parental leave policy will be in full force.
Second.
Anything on the question?
Just on the question, in addition to that, the important part for me was the CSEA has agreed, beginning with the next town board and Supervisor-elect Dixon, to create a labor management committee to address the healthcare issues. And hopefully, through that process, we'll see some cost savings and some changes. So for the first time, not the first time, but they have agreed to sit down and talk with us, and I think that's important.
It's always important, but I will just on their behalf, it's always been an opportunity for good discussions, but thank you, Councilman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number, these I don't have today, but please authorize the supervisor to execute the attached change order for West Seneca Animal Shelter Rehabilitation Project, MGR construction, in the amount of $2,876 for the electrical panel improvements that are required to bring the building in compliance with the code requirements. The work requires a shutdown by the electrical utility, therefore the exact timing of the work is not known, but will be complete by the end of January.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Next item is appointment of Bryan Adams as dog control officer. Kindly appoint Bryan Adams as dog control officer for the Town of West Seneca effective January 1st, 2020, authorizing the supervisor to sign the necessary forms with Erie County personnel.
Second.
Anything on the question?
Just on the question, what are we gonna pay Brian?
Nothing.
We're gonna do it. I wanna thank you.
Well, that'll be determined at the organization meeting.
Just so you know, I know Bryan said he wasn't gonna take a stipend, but he has to take something for,
I think he'd be required to
yeah,
take
you
$1.
do, even if it's $1, you gotta take something. But they'll figure it out at the organizational meeting.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Bryan.
Thanks for going out on Saturday night, I think it was. I gave you a call and you took care of the drainage problem. I thank you for doing that yourself. Thank you very much.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Next item is please accept this as my request for an extension of a leave of absence from my blue collar position, I, Bryan Adams, as a laborer through and including January 1st, 2021.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Daniel Dens, please authorize Lieutenant James Unger to attend the FBI National Academy, March 30th, 2020 through June 5th, 2020. There is more than enough money to cover housing in that line, 50459.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. From the Chief of Police, I respectfully request permission to purchase one new HP Pro LAN server system from Synchronet Industries for $7,642. There are sufficient funds within line number 50419 of the 2019 police budget to cover the cost of this purchase.
Second.
Anything on the
Just on the
question?
question, this is a replacement of a very old system, Chief?
That's correct. It's end of life. It's on a 2008 platform. We've rubber banded this thing to death and will not be supported by Microsoft anymore. So it's a need to have thing, not a nice to have thing.
I just want to point out, no bidding was required on this and that there is sufficient funds in the budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. From Amy Kobler, kindly appoint Donna Farron as part-time clerk typist, $15 an hour, effective December 17th, with part-time seasonal status effective January 3rd through February 21st, authorizing the supervisor to complete and sign the necessary forms with Erie County personnel.
Second.
Anything on the question?
Yeah, on the question, I'm going to abstain from this only because I don't know Donna Farron. I've never met Donna Farron. My wife's maiden name is Farron, so just to avoid any conflict, I don't believe we're related, but I'm going to abstain because of the last name.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Moving on. Resolution from the Highway Fund for Capital Reserves, where the town board has approved to purchase two new 2020 model year Freightliners 108 SE chassis loadmaster rear load pack bodies. These are garbage trucks, for those who don't know. July 2nd, 2018, whereas the trucks were purchased at a cost of $357,426, whereas the town currently has $750,518 of reserve capitals of equipment. Therefore, be it resolved, the town board does hereby authorize the use of $357,426 of capital equipment reserve funds, which will be transferred to capital projects fund for the purchase of the trucks.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. This is from Justice Shannon Filbert, the appointment of Teresa Stacy. Kindly move to appoint Teresa Stacy, resident of West Seneca, New York, as my full-time clerk to the town justice effective December 30th at a yearly salary of $43,274.39, having the supervisor sign the necessary forms with Erie County personnel. And it should be noted that this is Shannon Filbert, the Honorable Shannon Filbert's appointment.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. From Mary Joseph, your approval to request a change of pay rate for West Seneca Senior Center effective January 2nd, 2020, from their current rate of 14 allocated in the 2020 budget. For the record, any new employee at the Senior Center will start at $12. Your approval will be greatly appreciated, and having the supervisor sign and authorize for the Erie County personnel.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. From Lauren Massad, Alexa Nigro, title change. Please change the title of Alexa Nigro from clerk typist part-time to youth service coordinator part-time, and increase her pay to $16 per hour effective December 17th, 2019, and authorizing the supervisor to sign the necessary forms with Erie County personnel.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Also from Lauren Massad, kindly change the pay rate for the following employees: Patrice Jordan, $12.25 an hour; Joanne McCabe, $15 an hour; Margaret Pomona, $15.25 an hour, authorizing the supervisor to sign the necessary forms with Erie County personnel.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Please move to terminate the attached inactive employees effective December 17th, having the supervisor sign the necessary forms with Erie County personnel.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item is also from Lauren Massett, our recreation supervisor, regarding summer day camp, asking us to approve the attached documents for our summer day camp, the program schedule, program fees, parent handbook and policies, day camp registration forms, and day camp safety plan will appear on a future town board agenda after the 2020 regulations are released from New York State and Erie County.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Last item is from Lauren Massett, Recreation Supervisor. Kindly change the status of Alexandra Marshall, Recreation Attendant, to 15 an hour effective December 17th, 2019, authorizing the supervisor to sign the necessary forms with Erie County personnel.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. I would like to accept the reports from Jackie Felser. Town Clerk's report for receiver of taxes for the report of 2019 and 2019 year end. And the reports from Jeffrey Schieber, Code Enforcement Officer, Building and Plumbing reports for November for 2019.
Second.
Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Make a motion to approve the warrant.
Second.
Very good. Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, well, what we have here tonight is our last meeting. And the last board meeting I offered, and may I say, you did a great job, Tyler, on giving that information to the public on how to read your tax bill and the importance of the impact of your tax bill and what lines actually affect the budget in the town of West Seneca. I also stated that I would offer you some of the items that we have done, and this whole section will be online, it'll be attached, but I want you to see what we've been able to accomplish, just starting with a few major projects. Energy performance contract, the ice rink, we own our own street lights, we've had 80 plus streets with milling and paving, we're at 25 million in sewer upgrades, we've had major road reconstruction projects up to $32 million. Some of those also good changes were Centennial Park. We changed that name to Veterans Memorial Park. A portion of Union Road, which is Route 277, was renamed Veterans Memorial Highway to ensure our veterans are not only remembered, but honored. We fought and won the fight along with our partners in government to keep Children's Psych Center right here at home in West Seneca. We established a Children's Memorial Park along with the families that have suffered the heartache of losing a child. We started the first ever farmers market, first ever children's summer day camp, hosting girls softball World Series of 150 teams, generating 1.2 million in economic impact. We also, Jean mentioned, we hosted the Gala Games. The impact there was enormous, hosting the PBA Car Show and Taste of West Seneca. We have a new baseball diamond at Fireman's Park with our partnership with Local 17 and Clark Patterson. We have this beautiful community center and library expansion. The implementation of swipe clock, timekeeping, along with major upgrades to our accounting and payroll system. We've created a credit card policy, creation of ethics board, town court, all the ADA upgrades, responsible bidder law was passed. The implementation of Code Red, the alert system, and the first opening of an emergency operations center along with our partners in the West Seneca schools. I've had an incredible experience here, and it's been my honor and privilege to work for the good people of West Seneca along with my fellow board members Jean Hart and William Hanley. We have acted on each and every opportunity that would make a positive impact to our town. I took on these projects because they were extremely challenging, and I love a challenge. My position as your supervisor has afforded me the opportunity to help so very many families, and I want to thank everyone I had the pleasure of working with. Matt English, you have been at my side from day one, and may I say we have been through some unbelievable things together. Storms, blizzards, floods, and thank you, Jesus, we missed out on the locusts. Along with Chief Dent and his fellow police officers, we all knew our role. We stayed in our lane and we got through it. We got through it because of our incredible highway, sanitation, sewer, buildings and grounds, and of course Dina and Julie. Even through that historic storm of 2014, 8 feet of snow didn't stop any of us. Steve Tanner, Dave Johnson, and Jason Havens from Clark Patterson, they have played a major role too in all these unfortunate weather situations and also all the other upgrades that with their talent and guidance have made a difference in every neighborhood. And without our county minor, our grant writer, we would have not realized over $10 million in grant funding, but actually it comes in close to 15 million. Senator Galvin, he's been very supportive of everything that we've been asking for funding. He just got the chief of police department 3 new police cars. And I was so honored to receive the award on behalf of the New York State Senate as a woman of distinction. To our clerk's office, building and plumbing, code enforcement, assessors, police records, dispatch, our court clerks, please know what a pleasure and with total appreciation for your kindness to everyone who came through our doors, always treating them with patience and respect. And to Mary Josephak and Lauren Massett of our senior center and our recreation, you've always made sure that our children and seniors are fit and always having fun. You've taken on a lot and you've made some incredible things happen. And to our town attorney, Tina Hawthorne, holy moly, you really stepped up to the plate. I'm so impressed with your willingness to tackle so many projects with us. I know I'm exhausting. John Fenns was such a good town attorney. I think he may have left because he needed a rest. Well, he's got his plate filled with Mickey Kearns. Poor John gets no rest. And Megan Winnick, what a brilliant mind for numbers. And your calm approach to a budget, priceless. And Jamie Kaminsky, you should be so very proud of how far you've come along. I know I am. Emily Joseph Atmowski, you came as a part-timer after finishing up your teaching degree one summer and you never left. Well, you have made such a difference and you're right where you belong, helping others, and you do it so well. With such grace, you are extremely loyal and oh so smart. And I have been blessed to work with you, my dear friend. And all of us, every employee, we have been faced with so many challenges, every department, and we have accomplished so very much as a team. To my family, my husband, Mike, and my sons, Michael and Timothy, along with their beautiful wives, Jen, Amanda, and our granddaughter, Avery, and our grandson, who is soon on the way in April. I want to thank you all for the opportunity and your constant support and encouragement. I love you all oh so much, and I'm looking forward to spending so much time with you while I'm living my best life. God bless us, everyone. Who's next? I had to get mine done first. Chief, do you have anything for us?
Not gonna be able to beat that one, madam. Thank you for all you've done and all the support you've given to the police department. Gene, you as well. I came out with this town board and with nothing but supportive. Maddie, it's been a good ride, lady. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. Matt?
Nope, nothing.
Jeff Baska?
On just behalf of our department, I just want to say thanks to Matt for the guidance over the past 8 years that the new guys have been in the office. And thank you to Sheila for the leadership. And I want to take a moment to say thank you to Gene for the personal help that he gave me early on when I started off here, and breakfast and some personal talks to make sure that we had things going in the right direction.
Very sweet. Amy, do you have anything?
From the town clerk's office, I thank you and Jean for everything you've done for us. And Jackie is back in the corner, and I thank her for everything she's done for us. We're very grateful for all of you.
Jackie is the best. Okay, I'm down here to Mary Joseph. What do you got for us, Mary?
Well, I wrote something, because I wrote something, because I didn't want to go off the cuff, because I would deviate. I want to keep it simple. But I want to thank the current board for all their support, for the staff and seniors at the center, and for the staff's early Christmas gift. I always tell the seniors and the staff at the center that there's many pieces that make a pie, and they're all a part of it, and so are you all. And for the elected officials that are retiring, Jean, thank you forever for being our liaison. Matt, thank you for everything that you've done for our building and for the grounds. Anytime we needed something, you were always there or sent a crew to help do it, so thank you very much. Sheila, thank you so much for always hearing us at the center and helping us any way you could. And even though people thought that we were sisters or at least related, these past 12 years were great getting to meet and work with you. And I'll end by saying that even though you're retiring, we'll always be friends.
Thanks, Mary. Lauren Massett, do you have anything for us?
If you can believe it, Supervisor, one last time I do have a few things.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try not to get emotional now that everyone is crying. I might cry. I would like to thank the West Seneca Town Board and our Highway Superintendent, and I'm now compelled to add Emily Melsky and John Fenz in the mix as they're both here, for their constant support of our recreation programs. Over the past 6 years that I have been here, the board has shown a true concern and commitment to providing quality recreational opportunities to all age groups in our town. We have been able to create and enhance our programming, and we were given a new and permanent home inside the CCL. This allowed us to better serve the youth in our community. Sheila, Jean, and Maddie, it has been a pleasure to serve our great town with each of you. I cannot thank you all enough for your never-ending support, guidance, and knowledge. Serving with you has meant the world to me. Again, I just cannot thank you enough. I wish you a happy, safe, and healthy next chapter. And furthermore, I would like to welcome the new town board. I look forward to continuing to work with Councilman Hanley and each of the new board members to continue to create and enhance our programming to serve our residents. And I would just like to wish everyone a safe and happy holiday season. Sheila, Jean, and Bill, good luck, and I will definitely miss being a part of the team with you.
Thank you, Lauren. Very kind. Tina Hawthorne, Town Attorney.
So for Mr. English, it's been a great pleasure working with you this past year. If this year is any indication of your hard work and dedication you've put into this town over the past 3 decades, then your retirement is certainly well deserved. I'll just leave you with the only problem with retirement is you don't get a day off, so I wish you well. For Jean, I want to thank you for taking a chance on me as the town attorney. It was such a busy, windy road this past year, which, as you know, is the nature of the beast, but I hope you finally retire and do a lot more golfing in the warm weather. And Sheila, I'm going to leave you with a quote from RBG, as you know, I love her, and she has said that real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. And you've demonstrated that through your leadership here. So don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Thank you, Tina. That was beautiful. Okay, William, what do you have for us?
Sure. 10 years ago, I used to sit out in the audience, with the audience that's out here tonight. I thought I knew everything. Shortly after I sat on the board, I found out I didn't know hardly anything. So part of that, I want to welcome the new board that's coming on, okay? I just want to give you the same advice. We don't know everything. This board doesn't know everything. The board coming in doesn't know everything and cannot fix everything, okay? Hopefully we can work together. Let's get the job done. Let's continue what this board has started. I'm willing if you guys are, so on that. Maddie, 6 years ago, you and I started on a little bit rocky start. There were some things I didn't like as a person sitting out there. I didn't like it. I came on this side. You run a pretty good ship. So I want to thank you for the years of support, coming out and helping me when I needed help too. So, and I really appreciate that. So thank you and good luck in the future. Jean, you and I have been friends for a long time. Sit in the same organizations. You're an expert with the finances. anything that came up in the town board, if I ever had a question to ask you about the money, the finances, the legal parts, everything, you were an expert at that, and I really appreciate your friendship, Nancy, and for welcoming me into your home, so I really appreciate that. And Sheila Megan, last but not least, 6 years ago, my first meeting on the town board, I was doing something, I thought I knew everything, when I came up here, I was doing it wrong right out the gate. Sheila Megan, instead of criticizing me or embarrassing me in front of everybody, leaned over, gave me some nice friendly advice, told me what I was doing wrong, let me go on with the motions, let me go on with the meeting. From that day, I knew that she was genuine, that she wasn't out to hurt, she wasn't vindictive. She is tough, I'll admit that. She's a tough supervisor, she's a great supervisor. So I appreciate your friendship, Michael, your boys, your grandchildren, so I'll say that. And thank you for welcoming me as part of this group. I'll never forget what you've done for me.
Thank you, Bill. It's been an honor and a pleasure. You're a true gentleman, a prince of a man. Gene?
I don't know if I'm supposed to give a speech or not. I certainly didn't prepare one. Of course, I've never been short of words, so to speak. Anyway, as I look out here, I just want to acknowledge first my no crying in politics. Well, anyway, my wife is here, and she's put up with an awful lot over 8 years. All the long nights away, the waiting around in basements full of sewage. Even got me sick one time. I still don't have my voice back. But anyway, everything that can be said about the supervisor, Councilman Hanley, our great chief of police, our wonderful highway superintendent, our town attorney, our former town attorney, our recreation supervisor, and our senior citizen director has been said. So I'm not going to go down that path again. But as I look out here, I see an awful lot of town employees. And a town government's a service organization. And a service organization is only as good as its employees. And you are the guys that make this place work. We may have disagreements from time to time, but from the courts to the highway department to buildings and grounds to the white collar unit and the white collar employees, you've done a wonderful job, and I appreciate all the support you always gave me. I could make a call to Matt or now to Bryan, and a problem in the streets is taken care of quickly. We unfortunately have many issues in the town with street flooding, and quite often it's caused by different issues. But our men are out there in all kinds of weather. I stood with them in floods in Gardenville, floods in Lexington Green. I was amazed and impressed by the effort in Lexington Green when we had to rescue, I don't even know the number, maybe 75 families. I can recall our firemen standing in the water up to their hips in front of the windows, and our guys going down the streets, high lift, whatever, and taking those people out of their homes in a very, very difficult and dire situation. That was impressive, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. So as we come to an end, I want to wish, and I hope and I do pray for this transition to be a smooth one. I wish all of you the best of luck in your new adventure. And if you need any guidance or any advice or question on anything, call Emily. Because I guess I'll move forward. No, you can always call me. My number's not going to change. And to all the great employees working side by side with you over these years has been an absolute pleasure and honor. I truly mean that. So for all those men and women who have served this great country and continue to serve, we thank you. I thank all of you for coming tonight, and again, I thank you for this incredible opportunity. God bless you all. Any children from the high schools, please feel free to come up
Thank
for
you
a
for
quick.
remembering our veterans.
Always remember you, but I'm big on the veterans, obviously. This place is now Veterans Memorial Park. We wouldn't be here without the veterans. That being said, any children from the high schools, please feel free to come up. Meeting adjourned. God bless.